In this video, I'll be talking you through Accenti's Chameleon Surround. Accenti's Chameleon has long been the go-to solution for audio engineers and sound designers seeking to replicate natural room reverbs. But Chameleon isn't like any other reverb. It excels at analysing audio and recreating a room's acoustic profile with precision, yet operation is incredibly simple. Chameleon Surround is the Atmos reverb you've always wanted. Now supporting channel formats up to 916, Chameleon Surround expands the capabilities beyond standard stereo reverb into immersive multi-dimensional sound, offering pinpoint control, ensuring that the reverb fits naturally into any surround space. This new version takes the acclaimed reverb matching technology of Chameleon and enhances it with powerful surround sound capabilities, making it a must-have tool for more complex audio environments such as Atmos movies, TV shows, and immersive gaming. Now it includes a ton of new presets and a gorgeous preset browser with an amazing selection of room reverbs right out of the box, including halls, small spaces, car interiors, and more. The preset browser can be opened and closed by clicking on the Library tab, and it can be docked as it currently is here, or detached by clicking here. The preset browser is completely resizable, and as you can see, a broad variety of spaces, both small and large, are included. Let's take a listen to a few of these presets. My session is running in 7.1, but you'll be hearing it in stereo in this video. I'm running Chameleon Surround on an aux track, and I have a send from my dialogue track, but you could also use it directly on an audio track and use the wet-dry balance to adjust the amount of reverb, or there's an audio suite version which allows you to render the results directly to your timeline. Let's start with this preset, Stairwell with Metal Steps. Accenti's Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714 and 916, or perhaps a Victorian brick archway. Accenti's Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714 and 916. Maybe something much smaller, a downstairs toilet. Accenti's Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714 and 916. Each of the presets is tagged with keywords. This makes finding the right reverb much easier. Over on the left we have the search box. You can search by duration if you wish by specifying a reverb length, or you can input keywords, so I could search for the word medium and find the presets which match that term. Alternatively, I could search for a specific type of space such as an elevator, and it narrows down the presets to the relevant ones. In the main plugin interface, you'll see the image associated with the currently loaded preset. This section can be switched between the image, or a frequency-dependent decay of the reverb over time. This can be shown in 3D, as it is here, or if you prefer 2D, you can toggle this in the settings menu. You'll also see a speaker layout visualization representing the sound format in use. This gives a useful visual guide as to how the energy of the reverb is spread throughout the room. On the right-hand side of the plugin interface, you'll find the surround controls. These are arranged in logical groupings. In my 7.1 session, we have front, sides, and rear, and for each of those, there's a gain control, along with treble and bass, plus a spread control. This adjusts how the reverb is distributed between channels. It can be set to send and receive, which spreads the signal bidirectionally, send only, where signals spread from these channels to others but do not receive spread from other channels, or receive only, where signals from other channels spread into these but no signal is sent out. These controls need to be considered along with the spread control over here. The spread control defines how much crosstalk occurs between speakers. For example, if spread is set to 0, an input signal coming through the center speaker will not generate reverb on other channels. Accenti's Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714 and 916. As the spread is increased, the reverb will increasingly spread across other speakers based on how far apart they are from the source channel. Accenti's Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714 and 916. Other controls include pre-delay, which is the time delay in milliseconds before the reverb is mixed with the dry signal. low cut, which reduces the low frequency content of the reverb, and high cut, which cuts the higher frequencies. These can be very useful for adjusting the overall tonal balance of a space. There are a few more controls up here, but before we get to those, let's capture our own reverb using Chameleon Surround. If you've used the standard version of Chameleon before, you may be aware that it uses artificial neural networks to replicate room characteristics with remarkable accuracy. Chameleon Surround does this too, but takes it further by introducing intelligent 3D room estimation. This new level of AI-driven analysis can assess a room's acoustic properties from mono sources and adapt them to immersive multi-channel setups, ensuring an authentic surround sound experience. Let's take an example of some mono dialogue with inherent reverb. This is a recording made in a very reverberant courtroom. As you can hear, there's a notable reverb on the recording. Is it possible to match this reverb? Let's find out. To learn this, the process is the same as in the standard version of Chameleon. We can click on Create, and Chameleon Surround starts listening. If the plugin were instantiated directly on an audio track, I could use the main input and just play some dialogue through it. In my case, I'm using it on a separate aux track, so I've created a send from the dialogue track to act as a sidechain input for Chameleon Surround. I've already selected this in the sidechain section of the plugin, so now I'll select it as the input. Now we just need to play a few seconds of audio. This is a recording made in a very reverberant courtroom. As you can hear, there's a notable reverb on the recording. And the reverb profile is now ready. I can either just apply it, or if I want to save it to the library as a preset, I can do that too. In the Save Profile window, I can give it a name, add tags, including custom ones, and I can add a picture if I want to. I'll click Change Picture, select one, and now it's part of the preset. Let's see how this sounds on some dry dialogue. Accentized Chameleon Surround supports various channel formats, including mono, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 714, and 916. It uses advanced reverb matching with 3D room estimation for surround setups. Great, and to tweak the sound, I can use any of the previously mentioned controls within the plugin, but also the stretch, decay, treble and bass controls. Stretch adjusts the length of the reverb. Negative values shorten it, and positive values lengthen it. Decay shortens the reverb by trimming the end of the tail. Unlike the stretch control, decay only cuts the tail rather than compressing it. The treble and bass controls are shelving filters, again giving you control over both the high and low frequency content of your reverb. The neural networks in Chameleon Surround have been trained on over 30,000 reverb conditions, making it highly adaptable across a wide range of recording environments. Whether working on stereo, quadraphonic, or advanced surround formats, the plugin's precision and versatility make it a powerful asset. We hope you enjoy using Chameleon Surround.